Good morning, everyone, and a Freilich in Purim. I'd like to leave you with a message about this holy day of Purim itself. Chazal tell us that when Mashiach will come, all of the moedos, all of the festivals will be bottled, they will be nullified and void. We won't celebrate them, chutz, except for one. The one Yom Tov that we're going to continue to celebrate even after Mashiach comes is Purim. Not Pesach, not Shavuos, not Sukkot, not Chanukah, only one, and that is Purim. And the obvious question that everybody asks is, why is Purim the one unique festival that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given to Klal Yisrael, that he says that even after a coming of Mashiach, when the world will change completely and drastically, why is that the Yom Tov that we're going to keep? In the Megillah, it is known, the famous words of the Vilna Gaon, that you can look hard and you can try to find and you can search for it, but you will not find the name of Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name is missing from the Megillah. And the question that the Vilna Gaon and others ask is, why would HaKadosh Baruch Hu do that? The Megillah is for Persumi Nisa. It is to publicize the miracles that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has made for Klal Yisrael. It's to reveal how much Hashem loves us, how He cares about us, how He watches over us, how He's concerned with every single detail in the lives of the individual and of Klal Yisrael as a whole. How could it be that a Megillah that is filled with nisim, with miracles, and we know our faith as a Jewish people is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is behind everything, and certainly the most miraculous moments of a person in our nation's life, it's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How is it possible that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name is absent from the Megillah? When the Gemara asks, Esther min HaTorah minayin, where do we know a hint in the Torah to Esther, whether it's talking only about Esther Hamalka, the queen, or it's referring to Megillah's Esther? It says, Haster aster panai b'yomahu, I will certainly hide my face from you on this day, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Which means there will come a time in history when the Jewish people will hide their faces so much from Hashem. Hashem says, you're not looking towards me. You're not revealing yourself towards me. You're busy doing your own narishkeit and those kind of things that are the opposite of my will. So then I will certainly hide my face from you. Hester panim, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu conceals His face, it's coming not because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is no longer in the world, but He is acting Mida keneged mida, measure for measure, by the triggers that we send into the heavens, into Shemayim. We reveal ourselves to Hashem, Hashem reveals Himself to us. We hide ourselves, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hides Himself from us. The story of Purim is a time of Hester Panim, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw Klal Yisrael doing things that were disappointing and upsetting. We put up a tzelem, we put up a statue in the Beis HaMikdash. We went to this Seudah of Oisei Rasha, we went to the big meal of that Rasha Achashverosh, and we ate and we danced and we drank and we enjoyed ourselves and we reveled. And Mordechai Yehudi told us, don't go, that's not where a Yid belongs. We have to be proud to be a Yid. We have to be secure in our Yiddishkeit and our identity. You don't go to places that are going to destroy the very essence and the fiber of the Kedusha and the Tahara of who we are. And therefore came along the evil decrees and the edicts of Haman HaRasha to destroy Klal Yisrael. It's not Haman, it's Hester Panim. It's the hiddenness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu working behind the scenes to motivate Klal Yisrael to do tshuva. Because once that we begin to do tshuva in the story of Purim, we sit in our sackcloth and we fast for 3 days and we cry out to the Ribbono Shel Olam and we daven, and the little children leave the cheder and they come and they sit on the floor in sackcloth and ash as well, and they cry out and they daven, and Esther Hamalka herself, she fasts and she goes to the king. When we begin to reveal ourselves to the Ribbono Shel Olam, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu begins to reveal Himself to us. And all of the nisim, all the niflois, all the miracles of Purim begin to fall into place one after the other. In the days that Mashiach will come, suddenly clarity is going to be reached. The emes, the truth, is going to be blasting throughout the world. And everything is going to come to a head where we are going to be able to see the reality and the truth of the world from the beginning of time until the days of Mashiach. And all of those things that we thought HaKadosh Baruch Hu was acting behest upon him, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu was hiding himself and he was concealing himself, and we were not able to see it's the Ribbono Shel Olam. We're going to begin to realize in the days of Mashiach that every little detail in our lives and the lives of our nation of Klal Yisrael, which sometimes looked so bad and so painful and so harsh, it was all HaKadosh Baruch Hu's hester upon him, because we had hid ourselves, and those were the vehicles which ended up bringing about salvation and tshuva and steps closer and closer to the days that Mashiach comes to bless our world and our nation. And therefore, Mashiach is a time of clarity. Mashiach is a time when that which was unknown becomes known. Mashiach are the days in which the cloud of darkness which envelops every generation of the galus of the exile begins to clear. The light, the bright lights of Kedusha and Tahara and of the Emes shine on the world, and the words of Mashiach will be strong, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu's message will go deep into our hearts, and we will realize that everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did, although that it was done behest upon him, it was done with a hidden face, it was all for the benefit of each and every one of us, because it brought us that much closer to the Ribbono Shel Olam, because it motivated us to become better Yidden, to become better Jews, and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'chol lavav v'chol me'odecha with all our hearts and all of our might. And that's why Purim is the one Yom Tov that is going to remain when Mashiach will come, because it's the only Yom Tov where we're able to realize that since that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name is hidden, you think that Hashem is not there. You think that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is leaving us the chance. You think that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't care about us. But no, at the end of the day we realize HaKadosh Baruch Hu concealed himself because we had concealed ourselves. And everything that Hashem was doing along the way, afilu mesiras tabas, the handing over of the ring from Achashverosh to Haman, which all of the prophets exhorted Klal Yisrael to tshuva, we never listened to them. Just watching the signet ring being handed over from Achashverosh to Haman, realizing that Haman now could enact any decree that he wanted to, it motivated Klal Yisrael to do tshuva. And therefore we recognize in the story of Purim that everything that happens, everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, although it be hidden, it's all the hands of the Ribbono Shel Olam. And when we will begin to be mefarsem our nays, to publicize and reveal our miraculous neshamas, when we will begin to reveal the beauty that is inside of our hearts and our souls, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveals all the beauty that He has in store for Klal Yisrael. May we be zeicha im Yetz Hashem to recognize in our own personal lives that those things which seem to be the most behester, the most hidden hand of Hashem, realize it's the most revealed aspects of the Ribbono Shel Olam. It is the Shekhinah turning the wheels in your life in order to bring you closer to Him, to help us to do tshuva, to help us recognize how important it is to be proud of our Yadus, of our Yiddishkeit, of our Judaism, how we have to elevate ourselves and grow in our avodas Hashem. And in that zechus, when a person begins to see through the smoke screen of Olam Hazeh, through the sheker of this world, through the falsehood of the ideologies and the cultures and the societies that are breathing down our necks, and we connect ourselves with faith and with bitachon, and we connect ourselves with Kedusha and Tahara to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Torah and to His mitzvahs, then we will begin to reveal the great hand of the Shekhinah in our lives. And then Purim becomes a day of Persumi Nisa Mamish, a day in which Hashem's miracles are openly revealed to us, and we will realize that we are the miraculous nation that continues to exist ad hayom hazeh till this very day, and we should be zeicha that just as Purim is the Yom Tov that will be around in Yemei Mashiach, we should be zeicha that today should be the day in which we hear the great call from afar, with the voice of Mashiach Zidkenu sounding loud, welcome us all into Eretz Yisrael to be zeicha to the binyan by Shlishi, the building of the third Beis Hamikdash, b'imheira b'yameinu. Amen. Have a freilichen Purim.